I'm not here today to rehash all of the many, many writing errors of Season 8 of Game of Thrones. There have been 1,000 videos on that subject, and I'm sure you can name them yourself right now listening to this. I might get desperate and make some content out of that in the future myself, but that is not what I'm here for today. I'm here to talk about Winds of Winter, not because there is new news about it. I think maybe a couple weeks ago he farted out a tweet that he managed to write a paragraph about shitting in the woods or something. I think that's a lie, however. Well, maybe it's true, but the fact of the matter is, the Game of Thrones series, or the Song of Ice and Fire series, are big books that take a lot of time and a lot of work, and then once they're written, and once he gets through all that, he has to go back and go through editing passes, and at this point he's going to probably have to pull a Hollywood and give it to not just beta readers, but focus groups. Because A Song of Ice and Fire is under the social media spotlight like no other series I can think of. It explicitly happened in Season 8 of the HBO series that the interactions with the fans started driving the writing decisions that they were making. I think it started in probably Season 5 subtly, and you could see it in 7, and then it destroyed 8. That what HBO was doing... the D&D writers, before they went over to destroy Star Wars, as we all know, I'm confident they were making decisions based on what they expected the social media buzz would result in. They had multiple options, such as, how are we going to kill the King of the White Walkers? They didn't ask themselves what would be the most narratively satisfying. They asked a similar but different question, which was, what will make people talk about this the most? And it resulted in the miniseries being so atrociously terrible in how it ended that the fans of the series basically want a do-over. Ask anyone, hey, if they just remade Season 8 and made it 16 episodes long and gave it another go to change the ending, would you want to watch that? Would you renew your HBO subscription for that? Guarantee you, they'd almost all say yes. You would get so many people with just we screwed up, we're redoing it. It's no longer canon. We just, the writers got obsessed with Twitter reactions and the art of the craft was lost. We're sorry. Here's an actual CGI budget that can afford giants, dragons, and the wargs. Instead, though, we're theoretically going to get the next installment of the book series, Winds of Winter. But we're going on something like 12 years since he was supposed to release it, basically. Since he started writing it, allegedly. Now, obviously, George R. R. Martin writes other books. I believe he has published and released many books in the last few years. He just hasn't been putting the time in Winds of Winter. And this is where I get to my conspiracy theory, okay? Hear me out on this. One of two things is going to happen. One, what everyone else is saying, that it's never going to get completed, it's never going to be finished, we're never going to get it. He's going to die with it. Maybe 20 years from now, he's going to last another 20 years. But we're never going to get Winds of Winter. Unless a ghostwriter picks it up. That's completely possible. Alternatively, I think it's already written. That I honestly believe that he had the manuscript finished and then just clutched it to his chest and went, oh my god, I cannot release this, because no matter what he does, no matter what the story is, everyone is going to go to attack it. It will not satisfy the internet, because the standards of expectation are so high because of how bad the HBO series screwed it up, that even the regular amount of flaws that a good book has are going to get magnified 1,000 times over. And he is just, I assume he finished it and just won't release it because he is terrified that even the best book he can write, because of the expectations, because of the taint, because people saw that the HBO screenwriters were intentionally screwing with fans, that every time when he does that, for such as the Red Wedding, that they're going to think it was that he's doing that not for artistic decisions, but to cause shock, to cause buzz, to get people talking about it again. That, oh my god, he's killing off our favorite characters just for retweets on Twitter. I think it's currently already done. It has been done, and he just can't release it because of what the internet's reaction is going to be. Be the book good, bad, horrible, indifferent, inconclusive, astonishingly slow like molasses crawl. No matter what he actually produces, it's going to be a flop. I don't think that, unless he actually, writes absolute solid gold and floors everyone, and then we're all crying collectively over the most hated characters having redemption arcs or something. Which I don't think he's capable of doing that. So it's going to get flamed. It's going to get compared to how bad Season 8 was. And he is probably just waiting for the volatility to die down. I don't think we're going to get Winds of Winter for at least another 5 years. At least. And that's if people move on to some other franchise. Which, by the way, there's lots of indie authors. There's lots of other fantasy series. There's old stuff like Book of the New Sun. People should move on from Song of Ice and Fire. Support new authors and all that. And maybe we'll actually get Winds of Winter. If he can step out of the spotlight and just safely release a book to his core fan base and wrap it up, and not be yet another epic fantasy author that kicks the bucket before releasing the final book, I think that's the only way we're going to get it. That is the only way the manuscript will be pulled out of his claws. Now, that's obviously just my conspiracy theory on the matter. I've been holding this conspiracy theory for a long time, and it's largely based on the idea of cognitive resistance. When you are putting something off, like you, the one listening to this, I'm talking to you right now, there's something you're putting off. I know I put off hanging a curtain in my bedroom for like 2 years. I had to screw in 2 bolts to the wall and hang a rod, and it was all sitting there next to the curtain, next to the window. And I put it off for 2 years for no good reason. Or better example, how long did it take you to file your taxes? You're putting something off. Go do it. The actual resistance is entirely in your head. Whatever you're putting off is probably not that bad. But if you're someone like George R.R. Martin, and you are putting off writing Winds of Winter, you're on the popular strategy right now, or popular explanation of why we're not getting it. It's not been 12 years. Do you know how monstrous that manuscript has to look in his head now? Every year that's going to go by, it's going to become more daunting of a task. He's going to see it as more expectations he has to meet. If my other theory is wrong. And given that it's 12 years, we truly possibly are at the point of never getting it. So, that's been my conspiracy theory about a popular subject. And I think that is a unpopular theory. I think most people are just incredibly bitter and jaded, and they're still upset by the show. And they have good reasons to complain about George R.R. Martin's writing ability and choices and the way he depicts characters, and how everyone is just a backstabbing asshole. Those are all true and valid, of course. But I think maybe that is clouding people's judgment and tunneling them in on, the let's call it the lowbrow swing at the knees of cutting him down, because he's not exactly that likable of a guy when he starts snapping back at fans. Which, by the way, if you're an author listening to this, don't snap at your fans. They actually like what you do typically. Be grateful that they read your stuff. I'm always grateful that if someone tells me that they read my book, and the first thing I do is I tell them I hope they enjoy it. By the way, leave reviews for indie authors. So that's all I got for you today. Please like the video, hit the bell, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know let's do it like a poll. Let me know if you think I am right that it's already done and it's just he's refusing to release it, because he definitely has enough money. He's not pressed for money. Or do you think we're never going to get it? One or the other. Which do you think it is? Let's let the comments decide. I do read all the comments, even the 10 pages of ChatGPT insanity generated about faster than light. So, until next time, cheers.